let me start stream mode as well. Yes, we are going to start streaming. Send an email. All right. Awesome. Okay. That should do us. Hello, hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. All right. Jonathan is doing the wonderful work of joining the Zoom call that we normally have, the link there, and helping people get here in case there were some people who didn't quite get the memo that we're not meeting via Zoom today. So there we go. Usually we have about 15 to 17 people on this call, so I'm sure doing it live was a little different for people. Maybe they didn't get all the details on how to actually enter into this format, but we'll be gracious and gentle in receiving people whenever they come in today in case they come late. Because we're flexible as we do crazy experiments like this. So welcome to the Listed Facilitators Gathering. This is the meeting once a month that we have where we gather all of our listed facilitators from around the world, those who can join us at this time zone, and we vary the time zone each month so that others can join us from different places throughout the world. And they get to meet each other. It's one of the connecting points where we all get to know each other better. And we do some training, just a little bit of training here too. So for the sake of people watching, and if anyone else joins, let's go ahead and just share our name and where we are. And maybe what you facilitate with Luke 10, or what you're trained to facilitate, or how long you've been facilitating, any variety of that answer. And then we'll do an appreciation story. And if you have an appreciation story around the 67 experiment, I think I'd love to hear appreciations around that. So if you don't, no worries. But if you do, if God brings one of those to mind, that's just super fun. So let's just take 30 seconds or so and breathe deeply and ask God for what memory he might want us to share with each other today to amplify our joy. And as you guys know, we'll try to do this in about maybe 2 to 3 minutes a piece. We don't have tons of people on the call today, so maybe we can do it in 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to time myself. So I'm Tony Daniels. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I have been training for Luke 10 for about 7 years now in all areas. And I think my appreciation story this week, there were so many. I mean, it was so full. It's hard to pick one to just share one. But one of the highlights for me was our finance circle meeting. And if you haven't had a chance to look at that, you might want to. And there's so many different reasons why it was so important and precious to me. But the specific moment in that meeting, there were 2 moments. One was we were listening to Jesus because, as you can tell, we're not quite reaching our goal yet with this fundraiser, which it's crazy that a first-time fundraiser would reach really any goal. I mean, you build on themselves annually, and we get better at it, and people find out more, and they tune in more. So the first time for this is amazing. But anyway, we're listening on the shortage for Luke 10, and I sensed a lot, but one of the things I sensed Jesus saying was, I love that you come to me for comfort, Tony, because that's the number one skill a risk taker must master if they are going to follow me. And I went back to that this morning. But in the call, I just felt cared for, validated, loved. And I also felt like Jesus was actually calling me a risk taker who follows him. That felt kind of exciting too, to just be identified as that by Jesus. I was like, you mean really? Like, really? Okay. And then the comfort too, to go, yeah, I need to lean into comfort. That's a really good reminder. And so that was just felt encouraging, I think. And then close to the end of the listening round, Cara Johnson, who some of you know, Cara Moses, she's married. She's been married for almost 30 years now. But she shared, and she just shared the verse. Was it in Matthew, John, where and Susan, where Jesus, what he says, don't worry about tomorrow. What I don't have it memorized, but he says, but seek first the kingdom of God. I should have it memorized. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. And she said, if any group of people is seeking the kingdom of God, it's this one. And she just started crying, which is not like Cara ever. I cry at the drop of a pen. Cara never cries. And she just was moved, deeply moved on our behalf, because she really thinks that we seek the Lord like none other organization that she knows. And I think that, again, for me was deeply meaningful, felt encouraged, and held. And I'm in. That's my 3 minutes. Susan, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, so you stole mine, Tony. Thanks a lot.
Well, your feelings might be different than mine, so you tell it again, girl.
I think everybody on that call cried at that moment, so I think we were all...
Yes.
Even Kent, I think.
Yes.
So anyway, Susan Ramsey. Susan Ramsey. I am in Texarkana, Texas, at Chick-fil-A, and so that was definitely one of my top moments from the experiment. But I think another one was, allergies. Another one was doing my Gentle Curiosity session. Did it with Hillary, and it was just a lot of fun. I mean, it kind of, I know like everybody could sit in and watch us, but it just felt like it was the two of us, and, and we were just talking about things and, learning more about each other. And so I thought it was a great picture of what Gentle Curiosity looks like, and how we use it, and how important it is to our community. So, so that was it. It's good.
Thank you. Did you say how you felt?
I think I felt seen and heard, and peaceful.
Wow.
So,
beautiful. Thank you. Jonathan, do you want to jump in, or do you want to wait? Is your attention in different places? How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I unmuted. Hey, there's John. Good times. All right. John and I have been working behind the scenes to get him fully into the meeting. So I am grateful and energized that worked. Way to go, Hillary. High fives all around. And because I was helping backstage, getting people into the meeting, I really don't know exactly what it is that we're doing in this. I assume we're doing appreciation around facilitation?
Around 67 experiment, if you have one.
Oh, around 67 experiment.
Yes. But you can take a minute, because you might even get popped out again. I just wanted to check in with you and see how active the Zoom was right now, and how much you're giving to that, and if you were ready to go. But we can give you a minute.
Yeah, I would appreciate a minute, but it looks like all is quiet there now, and Hillary kind of confirmed that everybody who had RSVP'd is now here.
Great. That's fantastic. All right.
We also had 2 RSVP yeses, and then they RSVP'd no this morning, which is really sad.
Oh, okay. I did, just so you know, I don't know if this person got back with us or not, but originally Scott Lazarus had signed up for this meeting as well. So I don't know.
I'm on him as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, honey. All right. So Jason Twombly.
Yeah, Jason Twombly, tuning in from upstate New York, and I'm in the space of training with LK10, and I enjoy training facilitators and facilitating a Your Unique Design course and leader teams and the other things. So I haven't heard much feedback from 67 Experiment, so I don't know if I have that to go on other than I'm hopeful and struggling, and this week was difficult for me. So I don't think I have anything in that space to share. But I could appreciate the LK10 culture, and maybe I'll just share that. I had a LK10 call this morning that was so helpful for me and my soul, and I love the DNA that we bring and who we are. That I had a Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. That, you know, I didn't always hit the mark, and not everyone's relational circuits are on, and the family dynamics as people gather at tables. So it goes. And I was just really grateful for the hyperbaric oxygen chamber that I received this morning with LK10, where that ecosystem of grace goes into those areas where maybe the oxygen didn't come in. And so I'm just a recipient of receiving some specialized heart care. And that was just this morning. And I'm so passionate for people to see, feel, and taste these things that happen in all of the capacities around the world, and just crying out for people to fund it with the rest of us, and hoping that happens. So feeling comforted from a weekend, and really grateful for this group, and really glad to be here. So thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks so much. John White.
Yes, ma'am. John White, Naples, Florida. The palm trees in my front yard, which I love. Been with LK10 15 years. One of the things that I love doing is innovating. And so, for instance, right now I'm reading a book. I've shared this a couple times this week, called Skunk Works, which is about a special segment of Lockheed Aerospace where they invent new airplanes. And for instance, the U-2 spy plane, the Blackbird, and stealth fighters, the whole stealth technology came out of the Skunk Works. And I love reading about it, because when they're doing something new, like a stealth airplane, they try something and it doesn't work. So they try something else, and that doesn't work. They try something else, that doesn't work. They keep going after it, and they've invented some amazing things. Which brings me to my appreciation of Hillary, because she is sort of the innovator, mastermind, skunk work kind of person behind this whole idea of streaming. And Hillary, I love it. I love when we do that. And of course, Zach has had a huge role to play, and Tony's played a huge role, and it's been a group thing. But Hillary was the mastermind behind that. So you're an official member of the Skunk Works. That inspires me and energizes me. I feel really energized when we get to try something new, even if it doesn't work. We learn so much from it, and we go try something else. So thank you, Hillary.
Thanks, John. Hillary, do you want to go next?
Sure, thank you. I appreciate that. I think one of the appreciations that's helping me today is our last email that we sent out. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we normally don't send a whole lot of emails from LK10. And over the past 2.5 months, we've sent so many emails. And we're getting so good at it, meaning not just pressing send and sending out the emails, but the whole process behind it. So what's the purpose of the email? Who's it going to? What's the content? What's the subject? What's the pre-header? Who needs their eyes on the content? Who do we need consent from? Should there be images? Is this the right link? Is this the correct HTML? Is this the correct sign off? Should we add something else? Should we adjust this? And in the beginning, you can tell it's a lot. That's on purpose. In the beginning, that took like 4 days. I'm not even joking. Like, that was a really long process. And just last night, we were going to send an email at exactly 24 hours, but like we forgot because life happens, and the person writing the email is a dad and enjoying Father's Day, Zach. And he texted me. He's like, "Oh no, I didn't send it." I was like, "Oh, we can do it." Like, yeah. He's like, "All right, give me a few minutes. I'll write it up." Within like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, we had the whole thing consented on, written up, put in our system, all the correct links and graphics and movement and everything. And we sent it out. And we just kind of reflected on that together, like, wow, this is getting easier. The more we practice, the easier it becomes. Interesting. So it made me feel silly, thankful, and yeah, really grateful, because this isn't just a one-time situation that we can apply these skills and practices to, but we can just keep using them and working them in this way together as we grow in the communications team. So, I'm in.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Neighbor, welcome.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm from Fairbanks, Alaska, and I'm a listed facilitator. And my appreciation is around the 67 experiment, which, you know, a moment on the culture. I think it's awesome that we try stuff. And what's the adage that you guys always say?
Good enough for now.
Good enough for now, and safe enough to try. Yeah, I love that. That's great. And so mine would be from the movement team. I think it was on Saturday, and there was definitely a theme when we listened to the Lord, like at the very end at our closing round. And that was just corporate listening. So listening together with God's bride on the call, and that stood out to a lot of people. And it always thrills me when that happens, when the same thing, you know, everyone or almost everyone gets the same thing. It makes it really clear that God is speaking to us. And so physically, I was sitting here in this chair, and I could feel the chair underneath me, and I don't know if I could do any other how it felt physically, but emotionally, kind of a calm and excited. So peaceful and excited and happy that God is listening and speaking to us. Amen.
Thanks, Ryan. I can't wait to see that one. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't wait. Thank you. Which reminds me that we'll have all the videos up on YouTube as soon as we can. We have most of them up there now, but the rest will be there as well. So we can watch all of our live sessions if we want to. There's geeks among us. Thanks, Ryan. Dennis.
Yes, thank you. My name is Denis Padigakov, and I am in somewhere in the Middle East. And I've seen and greeted all of you, but John Portis, very nice to see you in person. we've exchanged some emails, and very good to see your face. My appreciation story, and I have quite a few, but the one I would like to highlight is from my leader team meeting last night for me, early morning, not early morning, but morning for my team. And I've been talking a little bit about why Luke 10, trying to respond to that question for myself. And the answer that that came to mind is that Luke 10 is a group of people that are after God's kingdom, and God is up to something, definitely up to something in this group of people. And as I am personally trying to identify, well, what does it mean? God is up to something. What do I personally mean? One of the responses is seeing that people are healed physically, emotionally, psychologically, and they reach a certain state where they want to do more. They want to do more for God. And this is exactly what I have witnessed in my leader team last night for me. So that's the appreciation story I wanted to share with all of you. And that story puts me in awe. Something that I don't, as much as I would like personally to see this happening more, God on the move, people being healed, and I realize that when this happens, I myself am in awe, and I see that others are also in awe. And I have been with Luke 10 for many years. I'm a listed facilitator, and now I'm honored and glad to help with some other things for Luke 10. So I am in. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dennis. Thank you. John Portis, welcome.
So the mute buttons are going to be at the bottom of the screen. It'll look like you're muting everybody, but it should be like orange or gray of the video, right along that side. Let's see if I can unmute you. Maybe that'll help. No, I cannot.
No.
I can mute us all. If I mute us all, I might be able to unmute us all.
Oh, maybe.
Nope, that didn't work. Now you all have to unmute yourself. John.
Yeah. We'll give you a minute to find the mute button. It's just right below the screen, hopefully, and it's a round microphone. Yeah. Jonathan, you want to go ahead while John works on that?
Sure, Ken. I have just clicked on my little white microphone button, turning it orange. That's what you're looking for, John, is to make that button look orange. Wow. I had a neat conversation with my dad yesterday, Father's Day. He shared with me that he hasn't really connected a lot with what we're doing in this space, but he's been a little bit curious. He's been asking questions. And I had sent him an email last week saying, I'm going to be doing a live interview, and would you like to join? Here's where you can go. And on the call, he expressed his disappointment. Oh, I didn't get your email until afterward. I really wanted to see that, and just to see his heart in that, to be able to help him to see what is happening in our group, and to know more of my heart about it. So I'll share the recording with him for sure when that becomes available. I'm excited about that. But we went into this a little bit of the story, what John was saying about Hillary and having this idea. And I talked to him about this consent-based system of governance that we use, that we get into experiments because people have good ideas. And if nobody has a paramount objection, after some discussion, we just go with that. And so wonderful things happen. The impact on me personally, as I've been watching some of the sessions and getting into that frame of mind that we're in, I think you saw it, Tony and Hillary, when I joined that Friday happy hour. I was burdened. I was thinking about, what is needed for the organization and for facilitators as well, to fuel this continuing movement. And I was in that place of wanting to beg and plead with God to send these people. And then after our happy hour, I went out and looked at the email that had been sent at the start of that hour. I thought, okay, that's exactly that was in me. How dependent we are on God's hand to move. We're not assuming that our experimentation is just going to make everything happen. And it would be really kind of bad in a way if it did. If we could succeed without God, we would be how horribly set back we would be. So appreciating the dependence that we are realizing and that we're holding on to. And I really feel a reassurance from God that, okay, maybe you're not going to close this funding gap in 1 week, but you've got the ball rolling and it'll come. You have started something that has momentum and you're headed in the right direction. So I just felt the Lord's encouragement with that.
Thank you.
I didn't give any intro whatsoever. I just launched into the appreciation, but so I'm in Minnesota, outside the Twin Cities, and fully listed facilitator. Happy to be working with Jason in the training space right now to get ready to start training facilitators. And yeah, just joyful and hopeful in all that we're doing here. I'm in.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so John's mic is actually disabled. It's not muted. And so normally when things are disabled, that means the person controlling the stage has the power. And Tony, I think that's you.
Okay.
And if everyone else can try to unmute just to see if we all have this problem. Okay, we got Ryan, Susan.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Tony, is there any way when you put your mouse over John's face, if that little mic button comes up for him?
No, it allows me to disable his video, but it does not allow me to enable anything.
That's a bummer.
I can move him backstage. I can pin him. I cannot enable him.
Right. We will keep working on the backstage to get him hooked up.
One option is, John Portis, you can call in and I can voice you to everyone so that we can still see you and then we can hear you if you want to give me a call. How does that sound? That usually works when everything else fails. So let me know.
Or he might be able to leave and rejoin. That might jostle his microphone into functioning.
He's texting me.
Oh, good. Okay.
He's going to keep working on his audio and testing them for now.
Okay. All right. Just when you're ready, give Hillary or myself a call and we can put you on speaker and you can share, because I'd hate for you to be doing this the whole meeting and just miss the being with us. Okay, good. All right, great. So I didn't have a lot scheduled for this call because I really didn't know how we would all be showing up as far as checking in. And really we just have conference stuff to talk about and then a training snippet. And the training snippet that I wanted to just remind us of this week is how to, the responding to heavy emotions. Which really is, I think, a signature piece for Luke 10. It really is kind of when people come through our training. Church of Two is one of the gold mines that they just say, wow, this is what we were missing in our church or in our house church or in our family. And then this responding to heavy emotions tends to be the second thing that they go, wow, this is amazing. This is a game changer for us. And as you go through facilitator training, you all have seen that, how to responding to heavy emotions. And sometimes it's hard to remember to offer it, right? Because we're so used to preaching at people or in the Christian body, not us necessarily, but preaching, trying to make them feel better, and kind of making someone feel better tends to be our goal instead of just being with that person. And so we've designed a way to help remind us how to be with someone without needing to change, fix, solve, preach at, do anything to that person. And it's just really powerful. So I wanted to bring that up now because I think I want to do a quick check-in around with just how everyone's feeling about this experiment and about where Luke 10 is, or where you maybe personally are financially, and then model this for